Some of the most unhelpful advice I've found about overthinking is that somehow you're supposed to stop thinking, like just shut your brain off. I don't really think that's possible. I mean, there are moments where you're creating from your heart or your intuition or whatever you want to call it, and your mind goes quiet. And it's really amazing when that happens. But most of the time, our thoughts are still going to be there, like annoying us in the back of our minds all the time. So for me, really, the point isn't to have no thoughts. I gave up on that. It's learning how to not get completely eaten alive by every thought that shows up in your brain. And here are 5 things that have actually helped me, and I really do implement and practice these. I'm not going to tell you to do a bunch of things that will only leave you overthinking more, and I'll explain at the end how you can simplify. All right, so the first one is realizing that stopping thinking isn't the goal, right? We already kind of just said this, but your mind is going to think, and that's what it does. So instead of trying to shut the whole thing down, it's more about changing your relationship to it. And the second one is awareness, because most of us go through the day just getting pulled into all this stuff, our thoughts, drama with people, fear about like maybe losing your job or something, these old stories from our past. And a big one is other people's energy. Some people call these things pendulums, and whatever word you use, it's like something that grabs your attention and starts feeding on it. And suddenly you're not here, you're not present anymore, you're in your head. You're anxious because something from the past got triggered, or you're worried about what might happen in the future, or you're thinking, why did my girlfriend say that? Why does my boss expect this from me like tomorrow? Uh, or how does my hair look? Did I say something weird 3 days ago? And when you're in that place, you're not really present. You're not just being, you're somewhere else. But when you come aware of the thought, even for a second, you come back into the present. You can go, oh, there's that thought again. And now you're not quite as swallowed by it. You can hear the birds chirping outside and feel the breeze on your face. You can notice the bottom of your feet in your shoes. That one's really helpful for me. Or, of course, if you're at a beach, you can feel the sand under your toes. And I know this may sound a little weird, but I think that's where a lot of magic in life happens when you're actually here. You're not arguing with the past or rehearsing the future, just here. And that's when life sends us subtle signs when we're present and not stuck in our head. And we can actually pick up on them when we're just being. Otherwise, we're too busy arguing with imaginary people in our own head to notice the little subtle signs. All right, third is curiosity. And I'm not talking about turning into some big therapy assignment. I just mean pausing for a second and going, okay, why am I thinking this? Why is this thing my brain keeps coming back to and keep going and bringing me back into this again? Is there something that I'm scared of or something I don't want to feel? Is this thinking actually helping me? Or am I just spinning because spinning feels safer than feeling? And this has been a big one for me because a lot of the time the thought is not even the real thing. It's like the smoke signal that there's something underneath it going on. And this leads into the fourth thing, which is actually feeling and processing what's underneath that smoke signal. And this is where all of us skip, right? Like we'd rather be thinking about the feeling than actually feeling through it. But sometimes you just gotta let it move. Um, Maybe you need to cry, like process out the emotions and feel grief from something. A big one that is over everything that we do is anger. And it's very important to get the anger out, but not take it out on somebody else. Try to control someone through your emotions, right? We bring them to ourselves and process that. So, like for me, sometimes when somebody says something that's really triggering, I just go in another room and like punch a pillow or like, slap a pillow, or I like stomp my feet. Like if I'm out on a walk or something, like kids, and they say something, I give some space, stomp, and they they kind of look or something, but they don't even realize, what I'm doing. um, or you maybe yell like somewhere safe, like in your house. I wouldn't, maybe in an apartment if you share walls, but something to let your body actually process it, because sometimes your brain just gets looping and your body's sitting there like, hey, are we ever gonna feel this, or are we just gonna keep making spreadsheets about it? All right, last thing is breathing and coming back into your body. And I know a lot of people say about breathing, but when you actually are focused on your breath, it brings you to the present. And then a few other things is like I mentioned, feel your feet in the bottom of your shoes or on the floor, the texture of your socks or like the wrinkles of your feet. Um, feel your breath coming in, like actually through your lungs, and visualize it. Let it out slowly. Another trick is you can even put your hand over your heart and kind of focus your breathing in your heart. And there's some science or research behind it about slow breathing and heart focused breathing that helps you regulate your nervous system and your heart rate variability. But even without getting all scientific about it, you can just feel it. You're coming out of the courtroom in your head and back into your body. So here's a big thing I want to point out, because of all us overthinkers can really go too much in this, but you don't have to do all of these at once. In fact, I really recommend just focusing on one. Simplify, pick one on the next few days. And yeah, maybe you start using them all together, but pick one just at first. Practice awareness, or practice curiosity, or practice feeling emotion, or practice breathing into your body. Start letting it become part of your daily life. It takes time and there aren't shortcuts. And I know it's really freaking annoying for us overthinkers who want a quick solution, but it's true. Just becoming aware of these things help a lot. And peace doesn't come from never having thoughts. It comes from not getting dragged around by all the thoughts that are knocking on the door to get into our head. And sometimes the way out of overthinking isn't getting better. It's just noticing, getting curious, feeling what's there, breathing, and coming back to your life.